The annual Stevens family cocktail party sparkled with crystal glasses and designer dresses as 60 guests celebrated another year of professional achievements and social connections. My parents' sprawling suburban home buzzed with conversations about stock portfolios, vacation homes, and children's academic successes while I remained absent, supposedly recovering from another one of Maya's episodes. Maya's been struggling with health anxiety lately, Mom explained to her bridge club friends, adjusting her pearl necklace with practiced elegance. She's convinced herself she has some serious illness, but her primary care doctor says it's all psychological. Dad nodded supportively from across the room, where he was discussing golf handicaps with fellow bank executives. Classic anxiety disorder. Maya's always been dramatic about minor symptoms, turns a headache into a brain tumor, stomach upset into cancer. Their confident dismissal stung, but it wasn't surprising. For 4 months, I'd been trying to explain increasingly severe symptoms that my family attributed to work stress from my position as a hospital research coordinator. They had no idea that my anxiety involved stage 4 glioblastoma, terminal brain cancer with a median survival of 14 months. We've scheduled therapy appointments, Mom continued to her sympathetic audience. Maya needs professional help to overcome this health obsession before it destroys her career. What they didn't know was that my career at Metropolitan Medical Center had provided access to cutting-edge diagnostic equipment that revealed multiple brain tumors throughout my frontal and temporal lobes. The neurological symptoms they dismissed as anxiety were actually my brain shutting down systematically. She missed tonight's party for another doctor visit, Dad added with air quotes. Always has elaborate explanations for why these appointments can't be rescheduled. The doctor visit had been emergency consultation with Dr. Robert Harrison, chief of neurosurgery, regarding rapidly deteriorating cognitive function and motor control. While my parents entertained guests with stories about my health anxiety, I'd been discussing end-of-life planning with palliative care specialists. Maya's generation is obsessed with medical drama, observed Mrs. Peterson, my mother's closest friend. They self-diagnose everything online instead of accepting that stress causes physical symptoms. My phone buzzed with an urgent text from Dr. Harrison. Maya, your latest MRI shows concerning progression. Emergency family meeting required tonight at 8:30 p.m. Bringing complete medical team for immediate consultation. I checked the ornate grandfather clock in my parents' foyer through their social media livestream. 8:25 p.m. Dr. Harrison was about to arrive at their cocktail party with news that would transform their elegant social gathering into a medical crisis briefing. Maya probably needs psychiatric medication, Dad was telling his banking colleagues. Sometimes you have to force adult children to face reality about their mental health. The reality they were about to face was that their daughter's mental health crisis was actually terminal brain cancer that required immediate family support. The doorbell rang precisely at 8:30 p.m., interrupting animated conversations about vacation plans and investment strategies. Dad approached the front door expecting a late-arriving guest, but found himself facing Dr. Robert Harrison, whose presence in surgical scrubs immediately commanded attention. Mr. Stevens, I'm Dr. Harrison, Chief of Neurosurgery at Metropolitan Medical Center, he announced, stepping into the crowded living room followed by Dr. Sarah Chin, my oncologist, and Jennifer Martinez, the palliative care coordinator. I need to speak with you and your wife immediately regarding your daughter Maya's medical condition. The cocktail party atmosphere shifted dramatically as 60 guests turned toward the medical team whose serious expressions indicated this wasn't a social visit. Mom appeared at Dad's side, her hostess composure faltering as she recognized the gravity of uninvited medical professionals. This is highly inappropriate, Mom protested, clearly flustered by the disruption to her carefully planned evening. We're hosting a private party. Whatever Maya's told you about her anxiety issues. Mrs. Stevens, Dr. Harrison interrupted with surgical precision, your daughter has stage 4 glioblastoma multiforme. She's dying of terminal brain cancer, and you've been dismissing her symptoms as anxiety for 4 months. The words hit the party like a defibrillator shock. Crystal glasses paused mid-sip as guests processed the devastating medical reality that had just invaded their social celebration. That's impossible, Dad stammered, his banking executive confidence evaporating. Maya has anxiety disorder. Her primary care physician confirmed. Her primary care physician referred her to my neurosurgery department after CT scans revealed multiple brain tumors. Dr. Chin interjected sharply. Maya has been undergoing aggressive treatment while you've been planning therapy appointments for imaginary health anxiety. Mrs. Peterson, who'd been confidently diagnosing my generation's medical obsessions, stared in obvious shock. The bridge club friends who'd nodded sympathetically about my health anxiety now faced the horrifying reality that they'd been mocking terminal cancer symptoms. Dr. Harrison, Dad's voice cracked. Are you saying Maya actually has brain cancer? Multiple aggressive tumors throughout her frontal and temporal lobes, Dr. Harrison confirmed grimly. Her neurological symptoms, headaches, confusion, motor difficulties, are caused by cancer-destroying brain tissue, not psychological stress. Jennifer Martinez stepped forward with palliative care documentation. Maya's prognosis is 14 months median survival. She's been fighting terminal cancer while dealing with family members who dismiss her medical crisis as attention-seeking behavior. The elegant cocktail party had transformed into an emergency medical briefing as guests witnessed the devastating gap between my parents' social narrative and medical reality. Their celebration of achievement and success now included the knowledge that their daughter was dying while they'd been hosting parties and discussing therapy referrals. We need to discuss immediate care planning, Dr. Harrison continued. Maya requires intensive family support for optimal quality of life during her remaining time. The party decorations suddenly seemed inappropriate for the medical emergency that had been unfolding while they'd been celebrating their comfortable lives. Dr. Harrison activated a portable medical display, projecting brain scans onto my parents' living room wall where family photos had hung during happier gatherings. 60 party guests stared at images that no amount of social denial could explain away. This is Maya's brain MRI from 4 months ago, Dr. Harrison announced, the laser pointer highlighting multiple dark masses. Stage 4 glioblastoma with extensive tumor infiltration throughout critical brain regions. Mom's wine glass slipped from nerveless fingers, shattering against the marble floor in silence that felt deafening. The bridge club friends who'd confidently attributed my symptoms to generational health anxiety now faced medical imaging that proved terminal brain cancer. The symptoms you've been dismissing as psychological, Dr. Chin continued, clicking to the next scan, are actually neurological deterioration caused by aggressive brain tumors. Maya's confusion, headaches, and motor difficulties are her brain dying. Dad collapsed into his leather armchair, his face completely white. For months. She's been fighting cancer for 4 months while you planned therapy appointments and told party guests she was being dramatic about minor symptoms, Jennifer Martinez finished bluntly. Maya has been navigating terminal brain cancer diagnosis without family support. Mrs. Peterson, who'd authoritatively diagnosed my medical obsession, asked hesitantly, "What's her prognosis?" 14 months median survival with aggressive treatment, Dr. Harrison replied. But family emotional support significantly impacts quality of life and treatment effectiveness. The cocktail party guests who'd been enjoying stories about my health anxiety now understood they'd been mocking someone dying of brain cancer. Their elegant social gathering had become an education about the difference between psychological symptoms and neurological devastation. Maya's been undergoing chemotherapy and radiation while working full-time, Dr. Chin explained. Her dedication to maintaining normalcy while fighting terminal cancer has been extraordinary. Dad found his voice, though it came out broken. We told everyone she needed psychiatric help. We scheduled therapy appointments instead of supporting her cancer treatment. The neurological symptoms will progressively worsen, Dr. Harrison continued with medical directness. Maya needs immediate family support and end-of-life planning. The party's celebration of achievement and success now included the devastating knowledge that their daughter was dying while they'd been dismissing her medical crisis as mental health drama. "Can we see her tonight?" Mom whispered, tears finally understanding the magnitude of their failure. "She's currently hospitalized following tonight's emergency consultation," Jennifer Martinez replied. "The family meeting you should have attended months ago." 2 weeks later, my parents' social calendar had completely transformed. Mom accompanied me to every medical appointment, finally witnessing the reality of terminal brain cancer treatment firsthand. Dad spent hours researching glioblastoma and connecting with other families navigating end-of-life care. Mom said during my latest chemotherapy session, "We failed you when you needed us most. There's no excuse for what we did." The apologies came constantly now, but they couldn't restore the 4 months I'd spent fighting terminal brain cancer while being accused of health anxiety and attention-seeking behavior. The Bridge Club had disbanded, unable to maintain their social gatherings after learning they'd been mocking someone with terminal cancer. Mrs. Peterson sent flowers weekly with notes expressing horror at her confident misdiagnosis. "We should have listened," Dad repeated daily, his guilt consuming his professional confidence. "Our daughter was dying and we planned therapy appointments." The family cocktail party had become our last normal social gathering. My remaining months would focus on medical care and family relationships rebuilt too late to matter. Sometimes the worst part of battling terminal illness was discovering that your own family would rather believe you were mentally ill than face the reality of your mortality.